One of the men convicted in the 2018 murder of rapper xxxtentacion is now appealing his conviction, and his legal team is focusing a lot of their attention on a major celebrity, Drake.
Because I covered the beef between Drake and Kendrick. I didn't really cover it, but I spoke about what is going on with this new lawsuit between UMG and alleged lawsuit between UMG and Drake. I almost feel like I need to talk about what is going on as well over here.
Value on the human life that was taken.
One of the men convicted in the 2018 murder of rapper xxxtentacion is now appealing his conviction, and his legal team is focusing a lot of their attention on a major celebrity, Drake. We're going to explain the connections and the arguments as we sit down with Mauricio Padilla, the attorney for the convicted killer, Kendrick Williams.
There's been rumors about Drake his name being, called surrounding events surrounding the apparent death of this guy. I'm not sure how true this is. This is all allegedly, but you're going to hear this for yourself.
Kendrick Williams, who's behind bars for life for murdering rapper xxxtentacion, is now appealing his case, his conviction, his sentence on the grounds that he did not receive a fair trial. And this is in part due to what his attorneys say is the exclusion of evidence that pointed the finger or maybe pointed the finger at other people. And one of those people whose name has come up is rapper Drake. I want to quickly get you up to speed on this case before we get into these new allegations.
Could this be because Drake is threatening to sue UMG? Is that why all this is resurfacing? That is an angle a lot of people seem to be thinking of or coming from, or actually thinking may be happening. You go against, the powers that be. Now, all of a sudden, your closet, whatever dirt is in your closet is being exposed. Puff Daddy, how he sued the alcohol company, or he was threatening to sue the alcohol company, and all of a sudden his life things just start falling apart.
I want to quickly get you up to speed on this case before we get into these new allegations, these new arguments. Maybe they're not necessarily new if you break down this case. So last year, 3 men, including Williams, were convicted and sentenced to life in prison for the 2018 killing of the star rapper. And to be more precise, they were convicted of first-degree murder and armed robbery in connection with the shooting death of the 20-year-old artist whose legal name was Jose Onfroy. Now, the jury deliberated a lot. They deliberated for a little more than 7 days before returning a guilty verdict. This was for Michael Boatwright, Kendrick Williams, and Trayvon Newsom. Now, this murder occurred on June 18th, 2018, outside of Riva Motorsports. It's a motorcycle dealership in Deerfield Beach. It's a suburb of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And xxxtentacion had just withdrawn $50,000 in cash from a bank. He was leaving the store with a friend when his BMW was blocked by an SUV. In fact, surveillance footage from the scene actually captures this shocking moment as 2 masked gunmen, later identified as Boatwright and Newsom, emerged from the vehicle, confronted the rapper at his driver's side window. There is a brief but very violent exchange with one of the men shooting XXX repeatedly. Afterwards, they snatch a Louis Vuitton bag containing the cash that the rapper had just withdrawn, and they speed away in the SUV. Williams was accused of being the driver of that SUV. And the friend, by the way, who was with xxxtentacion during that attack wasn't injured, but he witnessed the murder. And the jury's deliberation was lengthy, but ultimately they concluded that the evidence presented by the prosecution was sufficient. It was beyond a reasonable doubt, enough to convict all 3 defendants. And that evidence included the surveillance footage. It included cell phone videos of the defendants flashing cash right after the shooting. It included incriminating text messages from Boatwright, including one right after the shooting saying, "Tell my brother I got money for the new phone." And then, just minutes after that, sending in a separate text message a news article about XXX getting shot. And I also have to mention the key testimony of the trio's accomplice, Richard Allen, who claimed that he was a part of this robbery and he implicated the defendants. He pled guilty.
This is the one who told on everybody.
The second-degree murder for his role in this killing.
Am I going to sit here and tell you that Drake was holding a gun or Drake? But
no,
the facts as they are stated by by X's own mother is that she knew about the beef with Drake and with Migos. She knew about the violence between Migos and her son, where there was a violent episode. She knew about 600 Breezy, which is a known admitted gang member from Chicago, going to South Florida and posting on social media saying that he's blicked up, which means that I have a gun, and she was concerned about it. She testified in the depot that she discussed it with her son. She testified that the reason that she wanted additional security with him the day he died was because of this beef with Migos and everything that we're discussing. So it was relevant. And for many months during the trial, January, February, even February 7th of 2023, the judge is agreeing with me. Okay. Now there comes a moment and a hearing. He goes ahead and Drake hires after the judge enters a rule to show cause, basically saying a purge date. You have to appear for depo on this day, or I'm going to do a writ of bodily attachment. He then goes and hires Brad Cohen, a friend of the show, friend of mine as well, an excellent attorney. And Brad files several motions, motion to quash the subpoena, and he files a motion for protective order. We go back and forth, and the judge says, and the first time that Brad shows up to court, he says, you know what, I'm gonna quash the rule to show cause. He's hired counsel. You guys can communicate and figure out when this step was gonna happen. Okay? So we go back and forth. We can't agree to it for various reasons, and I'm not gonna get into settlement negotiations
Sure.
on the show, but we can't agree. We go into court February 24th, I believe, on his motions. At that time, James Beard, which is the process server that served Drake, appeared as a witness, and I wanted to show video that he took of the actual attempted service, where it shows Drake's bodyguards or the people that are in front of his house refusing to cooperate. It showed one of Drake's employees kicking the subpoena down the road that leads to his mansion, and the judge didn't allow me to show that. Despite not allowing me to put forth that evidence, the judge did a 180 from telling me to figure it out, coordinate it, take the depo, did a 180, told me, why are you involving him? Granted the motion for protective order, granted the motion to quash my subpoena, allowed Mr. Cohen to argue California law without having a California expert, and basically kind of chastised me about, why are you bringing them into it? And as a matter of fact, we had taken the deposition of one of X's relatives regarding this beef, and she denied it. And the court said in open court, even his relative said that it didn't exist. And I said, yeah, well, she's lying, because the whole world knows about this beef. So for her to sit here and say that she didn't know about it it's on her credibility. So despite all of this, he does a 180. He not only grants the motion for protective order, basically saying that I can now serve him again.
Okay.
And quashes the subpoena, but the state attorney, sensing there's blood in the water, says, Judge, I'm going to renew my motion to strike all his witnesses. Okay? Or tennis, no notice. And he says, I'm not going to do that, but I am going to strike Mr. Graham.
So could it be that is the same thing that seems to be happening to Drake right now? Because when you hear a story like this, the timing is very weird. Like, how can this just come up? I just shared a story just yesterday about how Drake was allegedly trying or looking into maybe suing UMG for maybe using payola to help Kendrick Lamar with streams on that song Not Like Us. And this is going on. This is all something that is all brand new. And all of a sudden I'm hearing this other story of his name being called surrounding the event that led to the death of xxxtentacion. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. Could it be that the folks that Drake are threatening to sue are trying to reveal his dirt or trying to definitely make sure his name. I don't know. I don't know. This is just crazy. The timing of this, you know. But watch the rest of this story and let me know what you think in the comment section. Yeah, and strange. 2024. I don't know. Cat Williams said it off, man. He said this was gonna be the year of truth, saying everything that happens in the dark was gonna come to the light, and we saw that with Puff Daddy. We saw that. I mean, TD Jakes. I mean, the guy. I just pray for him because apparently he suffered he had some kind of medical emergency while he was, you know, preaching or praying at one of his services. So, you know, I'm wishing him a speedy recovery. But basically, him attending Puff Daddy parties in the past, things of that nature, those kind of things that he probably would not want the world to know, those kind of truth coming to the light. Now we're seeing the same thing happening to Drake. I think all this is really weird, man. This is all really weird. So this almost make you not want to be a public figure. Like, it makes you just want to be, you know, live a normal life because, like, it's always something out there. You know, you have Jaguar Wright coming at, you know, Puff Daddy coming at Jay-Z. You have like everybody who has made a name for themselves, especially in the black community. It's like it's the year where they're being brought down, and they're being brought down by their own people, which is the really weird part. But yeah, this Drake situation, the timing of this, man. I don't know what is about to happen, but we're gonna be here listening and watching, listening and watching. It would be weird if Drake decides not to sue and all this disappears, right? That would be really weird. But Lucian Green, I think that's the guy that runs UMG. He seems to be a really powerful person, and he may know some powerful people. And a company like UMG, I'm sure they have great lawyers, and these lawyers know judges and they know people. So the fact that this case seems to be resurfacing, the timing of this is all strange. So let me know what you think about the video in the comment section. And yeah, all truth shall come to the light. Just like Cat Williams has said, it's all happening. The year 2024. And it's about to be 2025. GNX, new album by Kendrick Lamar. Everybody is going to be playing that into the year 2025, which is all still kind of like talking about Drake, right? And now you have this case as well. This is not looking really good for him right now. It's just all bad news, all bad news. Anyhow, let me know what you think about this video. Like. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for your time.